What's up, Bulls Nation? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, there was an interesting interview that Andre Drummond just, had with somebody else in relation to whether or not he would be a Hall of Fame candidate. He had some interesting quotes that came out of, that entire interview. We're going to be reading some of them and, discussing his chances in the Hall of Fame, whether or not he would get there. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and comment down below your thoughts about Andre Drummond and his chances to enter the Hall of Fame. He's basically what he had to say. I used to play 40 minutes. I was a star. All-star, All-NBA. I've done it. Hall of Fame candidate, best rebounder ever. I'm the best ever. Drummond said, I've done great in my career. I think I have a chance to be a Hall of Fame player due to what I've done in my career. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm in the top 20 for being in the Hall of Fame, so I have a great chance. There is a lot to uncover about, obviously, a Chicago Bull at the moment in Andre Drummond and all the stats that have come out and the things that he has said. Now, he is one of the best rebounders to ever play the game, in my humble opinion. Whether or not he's the best or not is a debate that everybody can have, just like who's the best scorer, who's the best, facilitator, who's the best in general. There's always going to be debates and conversations there, but Andre Drummond is up there as one of the better rebounders we have seen in general. From the center position, from everybody across the league, he is up there as one of the best rebounders. I believe there was also a stat in this article suggesting he is the best rebounder ever in terms of rebound percentage. So keep those things in mind. There is some validity to what he has said. He has played 40 plus minutes with NBA teams. He has been a superstar at one point in his career with the Detroit Pistons. He's been an All-NBA player with the Detroit Pistons. He has been an All-Star with the Detroit Pistons and all of that. So the start of his career was definitely a fantastic moment for him. But what makes me hesitant to say he's a guaranteed or bona fide Hall of Famer, although he even has a great shot at being a Hall of Famer, is he went from a superstar level player, a player that everybody thought he'd be one of the best centers in, 5-6 years time at that point when he was around 22 years old and getting all these stats, to the point now where he's around 28, 29, 30 years old and he's a bench option that's averaging 6 and 6 and sometimes doesn't play every single game and stuff of that nature. So he's become a he went from a star player, all-star player, all-NBA player. Within the 20s, he's gone to a role player, a player that doesn't play every time, someone that can come in and boost the energy, someone can still produce at a good level, but ultimately has not proven to be a starter for most of the teams around the NBA these days. So that's kind of the issue that I have with Andre Drummond saying that he's going to be a guaranteed lock in the Hall of Fame. I just think his regression has come too quickly for him in order for him to suggest that he's a bona fide Hall of Famer, that he has a great chance of making it. Now, that's not to say it's impossible. Let's put you into different perspectives. Andre Drummond has done a lot of things in his NBA career, but there are certain things that he hasn't done accolades-wise. Let's say Andre Drummond goes and wins a championship, even if he's a bench player when he does it. If he wins an NBA championship, I think that boosts his category dramatically. It boosts his chances dramatically because of all of the accolades he has individually, all the accolades that he's had, All-NBA, 40 plus minutes with Detroit, superstar, big money, and all these things that he's done individually. Plus, he's also managed to do it with team success as well. Now, if he's going to end up winning a championship, I'm not sure if the Bulls is going to be the right team for him or not. We'll have to wait and see. And obviously, as a Bulls fan, we've had one of the best rebounders of all time in Dennis Rodman join our team. And I think a lot of Bulls fans are not going to necessarily like the idea of hearing Andre Drummond say he is the best rebounder of all time when we've had Dennis Rodman play for the Bulls and we know how good of a rebounder he was. I don't really have a problem with Andre Drummond being confident in himself and saying things even if we don't believe them. I don't have a problem with him saying that he is one of the best rebounders, if not the best rebounder to ever play. I don't even have a problem with him saying he should be a bona fide Hall of Famer. He should have a great chance of being in the Hall of Fame. What matters, I guess, for me is that I don't necessarily have to agree with that, essentially. And I do think for Andre Drummond, the next step for him to become a bona fide Hall of Famer or to get a great chance to become a Hall of Famer is to win an NBA championship. I think if he wins a title, that will solidify him as a Hall of Famer. Let's put it into another perspective, because some might say, well, if that's the case, DeMar DeRozan shouldn't be a Hall of Famer because he has not won an NBA championship. But again, DeMar DeRozan has been consistent for well over 10 years now, I would say. Ever since his early 20s to however old he is now. What is he, 32, 33 years old, something along those lines. He's been consistent. He's still averaging well over 24 points per game. He's still a guy that is absolutely lethal from the mid-range. His talent is still there. He's still taken to his teams to amazing heights in the playoffs. All these things that Andre Drummond hasn't necessarily done greatly in his career. And that's why I think DeMar DeRozan will have a bona fide Hall of Fame career when it's all said and done, even if he doesn't win a championship. Andre Drummond was great at one point in time, but I think the center position has adapted right before his eyes, right before a lot of centers' eyes, to which he has to do different things now. And now, what once was an NBA where he could be a superstar, he's now in an NBA where he is a role player, he's a bench option, and he's still a very good one at that. But a championship, in my opinion, is next for Andre Drummond. If he can get that championship, I fully believe he'll be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. I fully believe he'll have all the credentials needed to be a successful player in terms of that department, and to basically have a speech and have all these great things mentioned with Andre Drummond. Again, I don't even think he needs to be a starter to win that championship. If he comes off the bench and he wins a championship for any team that he plays for, I truly believe that will solidify him as a Hall of Famer. Because he's got the individual accolades, he doesn't have the team accolade. And I feel like for a Hall of Famer, most Hall of Famers that get in there, you're going to need to have both. Some of them could get away. For example, Carmelo Anthony never had really any team success in terms of winning a championship. He never won a championship in his career. But he's going to get in the Hall of Fame because he has a full career's worth of statistics where he was a starter for the majority of his career, one of the best scorers we've ever seen. It's going to be same with DeMar DeRozan, same with a bunch of other guys around the league that may not win a championship. Damian Lillard is another one that I think will be a bona fide Hall of Famer that hasn't won a championship. I think for Andre Drummond, his stats are good, but I don't think it's enough to make him just a Hall of Famer. I think he'd have to win and get that team accomplishment. Or if he could just turn into that superstar player that he was a couple of years ago and start in the NBA and average 23 points and 12 rebounds again, and maybe that could put him in that conversation again as well. But yeah, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer just yet. But his career's not over. Again, he's still in his 20s, I believe. I think he's 29 years old. He's in the twilight years of his career. He can get there, man. I fully believe so. His career's not over. Well, I think we're pretending his career is over, and right now he doesn't have a chance. Give us some time. A championship can come his way, or a starting role can come his way, or a rejuvenated player that can revitalize their career and become a starter again and be a good starter at that. All those things can come his way. So let's wait and see what ends up happening. But until then, I'd be very hesitant to say he's a bona fide Hall of Famer. But the future is still ahead of him, and he can still make a big difference in this league, in my humble opinion. But next season, he's a Chicago Bull. Don't think he's going to get traded until the trade deadline, maybe. So let's see what he can bring for the Chicago Bulls team. If he's going to be a guy that barely plays, or comes in one game because we need big ball, and then another game he'll disappear again or not play because we're using small ball, how is that going to solidify Andre Drummond anywhere in terms of a Hall of Fame career? So we'll see what he does for the Bulls this season, and obviously when he departs from the Bulls, probably next season, I would suggest he would be moving away from the Bulls eventually. We'll see how that goes there. But I don't have a problem with what he said. I don't think I'll ever have a problem with a player expressing confidence in himself and his ability. He's there for a reason. He's in the NBA for a reason. If he wants to talk and back that talk up, fair enough. Let's see if he can do it. But that's going to be me for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Drop a like and a follow or subscribe if you are new. And I will see you in the next Chicago Bulls related video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.